El futuro tiene nada más que la confrontación.
Hey, welcome to You Don't Even Like This Show. I'm your host, Adam Todd Brown. I used to host a podcast called Unpopular Opinion, and that podcast was this podcast. But then everyone else in the world decided they liked the name Unpopular Opinion a lot too, so we changed the name to You Don't Even Like This Show. Each week, me and a couple of guests selected from a pool of the absolute sharpest minds the LA entertainment scene has to offer use this here space to talk about whatever the hell we want. News, pop culture, politics, information, you name it, we talk about it. And sometimes my co-host Jeff May is here too. It's a blast. You're gonna love it. Hey everybody, welcome to You Don't Even Like This Show, a podcast about tech, culture, guns, knives, weapons, whatever we want to talk about, mostly guns.
You opened with tech?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're primarily, I would say, a tech podcast,
Tech
like
we're the leading,
like a Silicon Valley tech bro.
Yeah, you're foremost leader in technology podcasting.
Yeah, we have an IPO coming up.
That seems like it would have a lot of crypto and AI discussions.
Yeah. We do everything on the blockchain on this.
Our logo is an NFT, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I'm your host, Adam Todd Brown. Joining me as co-host, my other favorite co-host of all, Jeff Mays here.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to You Don't Even Like This Show. I am your co-host, Jeff May, and I'm here to talk tech. Welcome to Tech Talk with Tech Talk and Jeff May.
Welcome to it. We are talking about, I don't know, this week. Here's the thing. We got like 2-3 episodes of this before we switch to a whole new thing.
Ooh, we should do a late series clip show.
I am not opposed to that idea.
It reminds me of that time we went on vacation in Hawaii together. Remember? And then it just shows a scene from that TV special we did where we went to Hawaii.
What's your take on clip shows? Do you like them? I usually don't.
It depends on the narrative of the clip show, like what they do it for. I mean, obviously clip shows are usually just a 8-minute bottle episode with 14 to 16 minutes of clips.
Yeah.
But there are good clip shows. The Simpsons April Fool's Day clip show was, I think, really good.
Oh, yeah.
The Clerks animated series, where their second episode,
I was just going to say,
was a clip show, is, I think, probably the best version of that.
That's such a great bit. I love that.
That's a really good bit. I lament that show's failure even more than Firefly.
Yeah.
Which I thought I thought Firefly was like a very, very poorly handled show. I mean, everybody does, but I actually think the Clerks animated series is even more mishandled.
Yeah, I am surprised that didn't work better.
Well, they cut it up, butchered it. Like, it's the same thing that happened to Firefly. They just placed it out of order. They mixed up the day. Like, it became an unfindable thing.
Yeah.
It's not really until you saw it on digital video disc or Blu-ray or HD DVD.
Sure.
That you really got to see what the vision truly was going to be. The
lead guy from Clerks, like the main...
Dante O'Halloran?
Yes.
Brian O'Halloran, yeah.
He was recently on a game show called The Floor, hosted by...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Rob Lowe.
I think one of our listeners was on The Floor.
Oh, no shit.
First season, yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I love
think
that
he did
show.
really well, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's
And I'm
fascinating.
sorry, off the top of my head, I'm forgetting his first name.
Great. Just great.
He may have sent me messages on my Instagram more than 3.5 months ago, so I have no fucking clue.
Well, hey, if you're out there and you were on The Floor, let me know.
Comment.
Yeah, let me know. I like that show a lot.
Yeah, but he's on The Floor. What's his expertise?
That guy, he won a shit ton of money. So I don't remember what his original area of expertise was, but it changes.
Was it convenience stores? Because like that would have been a good get if they did that, like made it like convenience store pricing.
Yeah, that would have been funny. Yeah, I don't remember because
rules are so weird. Like you end up switching. And
You show up with like a plot of land, right? That's your expertise. And then people can challenge you to invade your land and defeat you in your area of expertise, right?
Yeah.
It's like Beat the Geeks.
Yeah, but then
geeksy.
The questions are literally just you look at a picture and identify it.
Why don't you go on that show?
I don't know. Seems like a big time commitment. And like, I don't like game shows where you're not guaranteed to win at least a little money. Like,
I don't think it's the time commitment you think it is.
Yeah, probably not.
Let me tell you, I got stretched over 2-3 episodes of my show.
Yeah.
It was all filmed in an hour.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, getting onto the show is a bit of a time commitment, but
there was a show I used to really like called The Chase, and I would have loved to go on that show, but it was an all or nothing thing where at the end, either everyone gets a little money or no one gets any money. Same thing with The Weakest Link. I would never go on The Weakest Link. I'm not wasting my fucking time.
Yeah, that's why we don't do improv. I don't trust idiots.
Yeah, just to have some fucking jealous bozo vote me off because I'm the strongest competition. No, thank you. Because that's absolutely what would happen. I would be the strongest competition and they would vote me off. And I would go beast mode on them.
There's this great bit by Nick Swardson about cheating on game shows and about how this was from forever ago. I think the album was from 2005 or something like that. But he's just like, everybody's so calm on a game show where they're like on Wheel of Fortune. They're like, oh, you hit bankrupt. And he's like, if I was on that show and I hit bankrupt, I'd be like, fuck. And everyone's just like, oh, okay, there goes $40,000.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I'd cheat. I'd be like, B, sorry, no B's. I said P.
Yeah, Wheel of Fortune is a show I would go on. That one is pretty lucrative because you get to keep your money. Like if you win money in round 2 but don't ultimately win, you get to keep that round 2 cash. That's legit.
Brought to you by fucking whatever dishwasher company is sponsoring that shit.
Yeah. Fucking Ryan Seacrest hosting now.
I want to be on that show just so I could this one's for the dunk. Just fucking drill him.
That fucking
imagine that. Just
punching Ryan Seacrest.
Tasting Ryan Seacrest.
I bet a little bit of skin would just fall off.
Honestly, because he comes up to talk to you, right?
Yeah.
Or does he stay away before he talks to you?
You know, I don't watch it as much since Pat Sajak's right wing ass isn't the host anymore.
So something to be said about a piece of shit right-wing host being very good at their job. Chuck Woolery, looking at you.
Yeah. The game show I'm most interested in being on is Name That Tune and or Beat Shazam.
Beat Shazam, yeah.
But Beat Shazam, I need a partner. But Name That Tune, I would not. Also, I think they're both filmed in Ireland.
Let's fucking go to Ireland. I'd bet if you were on a game show, right? And you wanted, say you were on Jeopardy, or not Jeopardy, but Wheel of Fortune, and you had a vendetta against Ryan C. I bet you could get him in a choke slam.
Oh, probably.
Before anything happened to you.
Because I bet he's a spry little fella, too.
He seems so little.
Yeah.
That just a quick motion to the throat, a thrust north, and then just fucking slammed him onto probably some steps or something.
Yeah.
I'd be like Kane, but not a racist mayor.
Ryan Seacrest is a notorious poon hound.
Yeah, which is weird for someone who's gay.
Yeah, he seems
like good for him.
He really gives off super duper gay. But I remember not when I first moved to LA, but at one point when I was working for Cracked, and it was kind of early on when I lived in LA, I got in an Uber on my way to work, and there was this radio show playing, and the host was being so fucking creepy to some female pop star that they were interviewing. And I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And then they went to commercial and were like, Ryan Seacrest will be back after this. I was like, God damn, that's Seacrest? Ew.
Yeah. The worst is when you go to a small radio area and you listen to drive time DJs and you're like, it is 1994.
Yeah.
Here, where you're just like, oh, you guys are still doing Monica Lewinsky jokes.
Boomer and the Nuge.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. What else do we want to talk about? We're just winging it this episode, everybody. We got senioritis.
It's like we're looking back. It's been this version of the show has been interesting.
Yeah.
You know, I think the rebrand, the You Don't Even rebrand, I liked that. I liked the rebrand. I still don't know the name of the network.
You Don't Even Like Podcasts.
Okay, because I always call it You Don't Even Like This Network.
Yeah, that's fine too.
Whoops.
Yeah, we're working on a new website. Once we get that handled.
Yeah, it's going to be an Angel Fire website. So
yeah.
Keep on the lookout. We're learning
GeoCities.
coding. Yeah.
Angel Fire platforms Nazis. So we're going GeoCities.
Everything platforms Nazis at this point in time.
Right.
Like we're paying taxes to a nation that platforms Nazis.
We sure are. Yeah. Oh, bad times.
So they're doing I never in a million years thought Nazis would be doing this great in 2025. You should kill your parents if they're into that stuff. Wait, what?
I'm calling it now along Nazi lines. Springsteen is going to get detained at the border when he tries to return from the European tour he's on.
Yeah.
Fucking mark my words.
I'm crazy, not interested. And these are all words that devalue the thing that I'm going to start saying, but like these ICE things that we're dealing with now, the raids and the abductions and stuff like that, with their refusal to identify themselves. How soon before just a bunch of these ICE guys get shot?
Yeah, I could see it.
Because they're trying to abduct and traffic people. And like, if that was your daughter, if some random person who wouldn't identify themselves tries to abduct your child,
yeah, like
I would. Like, I mean, like, I don't know, like, what would you do? Would you just let them steal your child? Like, you don't know who these people are, and they do not admit who they're wearing masks, and they're disappearing people. Like,
it's very alarming.
How is anybody okay with this?
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like, I think they want people to react in a way that they can react to, like mass protests and things of the like. Like, I think this administration wants to round up protesters.
Oh, they have admitted it.
And like, I did an episode of the Solo Pod months ago about the relationship with Trump and Bukele in El Salvador. And I even said then that that's kind of my concern, is that the immigration stuff is going to get so crazy that it's going to turn into protests like we've never fucking seen. And then those people are going to get rounded up next, the protesters. And then like, who's left to protest, you know?
Yeah. I've lost all, I mean, I never really had a lot of patience for those people, but like all my hometown people, I've lost. Like, I don't even, and this is, I guess, the division that they want, but like, it's hard to view these people as human anymore.
Yeah.
Like MAGA people.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're championing the idea of people just getting like snatched off the streets and sent to a fucking murder dungeon in El Salvador with no due process at all, you're a fucking Nazi. Like, that's Nazi shit. And you're a Nazi if you support it.
Yep.
And yeah, the time to be like civil about that, if there ever was one, or the idea that, oh, let's hear them out. No. These motherfuckers know what they voted for, and they're getting it in part. Some of the parts they're getting, they don't like, but they're getting all the fucking racism and deportations they wanted. And we see you. Like, we'll all still be here on the other end of this, hopefully. And then we'll fucking talk about you supporting Nazis.
Yeah. And it's like, it's so funny how toothless the Democrats are when they, I mean, you know, when they have power, there's a minimalist version of they're still toothless, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, if y'all don't understand the difference between voting for Harris and Trump, and you gave us a hard time for saying Harris, well, just because we had to talk about the lesser of two evils and we had to support that and the shit that we got from people over that, like, I don't know. We've said this before on the show, but like, fuck you a little. Because like, guess what's still happening?
Yeah.
But hey, at least the president got a nice jet bribe.
Yeah.
From some of the 9/11 people.
Yeah, that kind of, like, here's the thing. If you voted for Trump, whatever. If you hear that and aren't at all bothered by it, him basically being bribed with a fucking plane, if that doesn't bother you, you're not even qualified to talk about this kind of shit.
Yeah, you're a subhuman at this point.
Yeah, well, and you're a fucking cultist. Like,
yeah, 100%.
You're in a cult. Like, you don't have any sense of objectivity about anything anymore. If you think the president of the United States should be accepting a $400 million plane as a gift from another nation, there are so many problems with that. So many.
Yeah, and it's definitely one of, like, you're a cult without the common decency to drink the Flavor Aid.
Yeah.
It's Flavor Aid, right?
Yes, it was at Jonestown.
Yeah.
Flavor Aid, not Kool-Aid.
It's bad branding on Kool-Aid's world to be like, hey, that wasn't us.
But imagine being Flavor Aid. You're like, whew, we dodged a bullet, huh?
Yeah. I also like that means that Jim Jones was too cheap to get Gatorade.
Yeah.
It's like, Gatorade. What do you think? I'm running a cult here?
Yeah.
Kool-Aid. Excuse. Did I say Gatorade? Doesn't matter.
Gatorade, Kool-Aid.
Imagine drinking the Gatorade. Imagine drinking poison Gatorade. It doesn't even taste good normally.
I fucking love Gatorade. It tastes so weird.
Yeah. I mean, it's so salty.
It's like what I imagine antifreeze tastes like.
Yeah. The interesting thing about Gatorade is, it is, for those of you that are like, it's enhanced with electrolytes. It just means salt.
Yeah.
It's just salt.
You could drink pickle juice.
That's what I had to drink before fights.
Man, I tried the Popeyes pickle juice lemonade. Let me tell you, that tastes like lemonade that someone dumped pickle juice in. And it's not good. It's not good at all.
I can't imagine, like, what kind of a hangover do you have to think that that's a good idea to drink?
Yeah, it was really bad. But I'll tell you what's really good. The
food you probably got there?
The pickle glazed chicken sandwich.
Sure, yeah.
Fucking delicious.
But I mean, that's, pickle brine that's the secret to fucking Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, yeah.
That's why Rivers Langley's fried chicken is so good, is he learned how to brine it, I believe, from working at a Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that shit helps. I worked at a bunch of restaurants when I was in my teens and 20s. And it helps you later in life when you got to cook food.
Yeah. I never worked fast food. I made it a point, not like a purposeful point not to when I was young, because because of my weight issue. Oh, yeah. I was like, I can't do this. I was like, I'm smart enough to know that I'm not smart enough to withstand working at a McDonald's or a Burger King.
Yeah. You put some fucking food away working at a place like that.
Yeah. And if you're a compulsive overeater, it's really not the place for you.
When I was working at Burger King once, and this was like right around the end of high school. So I'm just like a high school kid working a fucking high school job. And I went on break and I went and sat out in the dining area and sat down to eat my food. And this family at the booth next to me, there was a family at the booth next to me. It was a husband, wife, and a small kid. And as soon as I sit down, the dad looks at his kid and goes, "Don't ever work at a place like this." And it's like, motherfucker, people who have reason to say that to their kids don't eat at a place like this. It's like, you're fucking trash too. Eat a dick. I hope your kid only works at fast food for the rest of his goddamn life.
The thing that I always said is when people like the two jobs that I always see as being the things that people like to like shit on are like janitor and garbage man.
Yeah.
And I'm always just like, those are such good jobs though.
Yeah.
Like the skill set needed to be a custodian is insane.
Yeah.
And the paycheck in sanitation is usually pretty fucking impressive.
Pretty bonkers. Because no one wants to do that job.
Yeah. But I'm glad you're in middle management, Mr. Short sleeve shirt and a tie.
Fucking bitch.
Yeah.
That guy.
You got to make sure that you get a real job selling widgets overseas. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fucking do nothing consumer. You fucking consumer.
Fucking consumer, bitch. Hey, speaking of consumers, we got some leftover listener opinions. Should we do one?
Yeah, let's do it, baby.
Kill some time.
Yeah.
Salad Fork Spear says, I don't know if this is the right place to ask this, but how the hell is Mellencamp better than Springsteen? I went public with my belief that of the two, John Mellencamp is actually the more consistent musician. And also I think he is, to lift a line from Jeff about Ohtani and Babe Ruth, I think when it comes to politics and like looking out for the little man, Mellencamp is what people think Springsteen is. Like Mellencamp started Farm Aid and still does it every year. Like, he directly works for the little man all the time. And his music has never stopped being that. Springsteen's got like the Born in the USA album. And I mean, I guess The River a little bit. Like he's got songs about people who are down on their luck, but not to the degree Mellencamp does.
I guess I get the question to that is, what does better mean in that? You know, like, is he, I think Springsteen's probably a better musician, I guess, like considering all the prevalence and stuff. I kind of seems like the way you're describing it, Mellencamp's a better person.
I mean, Mellencamp definitely has more hits. I think that's one of the things people hold against John Mellencamp, is that he's got like legitimate top 40 hits under his belt. Springsteen's got one, and it's Manfred Mann's cover of Blinded by the Light. Like, Mellencamp has just been so consistently successful that I think it kind of works against him in a respect sort of way. But if you dig into his catalog, I would argue his like album for album output is more consistent than Springsteen's. And I think he's, again, in terms of the way people describe Springsteen as like it being some representative of the Rust Belt. It's like, no, John Mellencamp is that. He still lives there. He records all his albums.
He live in like Iowa or something like that?
He lives in Belmont, Indiana, and he has recorded all of his albums at a studio he built there in 1985 called the Belmont Mall. I posted a thing on Blue Sky recently that John Mellencamp should run for office, because who else both identifies as a socialist and just charms the shit out of the Midwest?
How funny would it be is if his like tour song was fucking Born in the USA?
That would be pretty funny.
I think it'd be great. Like Bob Dole. Didn't Bob Dole do that?
I think so.
Or was it George
Someone did.
W. Bush? Somebody did that.
I remember reading a review of a Rascal Flatts concert, and they closed with this like really upbeat version of Born in the USA. And the reviewer just said, these dunderheads don't even know that's not a patriotic song.
Oh, yeah. Wow. So Rascal Flatts like that, and Life is a Highway by Tom Cock. They're just like covering shit. They're a cover band.
Yeah.
That somehow, because remember, they made it big with their cover of Life is a Highway on the Cars soundtrack.
Yeah, I fucking hate Rascal Flatts. Like, they look like cops to me. I feel like they
They
are.
sound like they'd be super into cops.
Yeah.
Like, they seem like the kind of people that would like bring a veteran up to the front to like, you know, present a flag to while they fucking did the national anthem.
Yeah, they fucking suck. I hate it. But yeah, John, I've been way into Mellencamp lately because I keep talking about it, but I've been trying to build a digital music collection again. And I just been buying CDs on eBay and then like ripping them to my hard drive and then reselling them. And that reselling part works really well if you have every CD or like every CD from an era. So, and I'm like a completist. So I've been listening to a lot of latter day John Mellencamp lately. And that motherfucker is still making great goddamn albums. Holy shit. Such a good songwriter.
Well, how do you label his music? Like Americana, pop, folk? Like,
yeah, kind of
like pop rock?
Folk rock. Like, there is a debate out there as to whether John Mellencamp invented alternative country. And I think he's got a pretty good case. And the album that people cite is Scarecrow, which came out in 1985. And yeah, I think alternative country isn't the worst way to describe him, but a lot of his early stuff, you can't really call it that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Americana, folk, stuff like that. Yeah.
Remember his cover of Wild Nights with Michelle Ndegeocello?
I like that cover a lot. It's a very good
Never vibed with it.
cover.
I liked the video because you saw half a boob.
Oh, I like that. I don't remember the video, but I'm
to
picturing
be the sexy cab driver. Remember the sexy cab driver?
I'm picturing half a boob now, and yeah, I'm set.
There's a lot to be said when you're a 12-year-old hitting pause on the VCR after you recorded it on, you know, whatever fucking MTV show you were watching. Remember when MTV used to play videos? If they still did that, they'd be out of fucking business.
Yeah. I think MTV is a big reason why I'm so into John Mellencamp. He was on that train really fucking early.
Yeah, pink houses and shit. That hit was everywhere.
He's also got a like Born in the USA type song that people always misidentify as being like a patriotic anthem. Remember that Our Country song that used to play?
This is our country.
Yeah, it was in
they put on a fucking Silverado ad or something.
Yeah, it was in truck commercials during NFL games, like incessantly for a couple years. And that song is communism. Like if you actually listen to it, it's him being like, "Listen, man, we got enough for everybody. We shouldn't have to work. Like no one should be hungry. Like this country has enough for everyone, and we should share it." But because that shit was in a truck commercial during NFL games, people thought he was being like really super duper pro-America, and it's the exact opposite.
Remember when Wrangler used fucking Fortunate Son
Yes.
in their ads, and they just cut the lyrics before It Ain't Me hit?
Yeah.
And you sit there and you're just like, oh yeah, John Fogerty doesn't own the rights to that song.
Right.
Of course they did this.
Yeah.
I will say one of the funniest things was when Portugal the Man Wouldn't Feel It Still came out, you could hear it everywhere, like in every ad.
Uh-huh.
And I had Zach on my old podcast and I asked him about that. I'm like, what are you? And he's like, oh, it's a game. We're playing a game to see what the stupidest thing we can put our song to. And it's just funny.
Oh,
like if they want to pay us more money to put this song in their whatever ad, like, or their movie or what, like fucking yeah, go for it. And whatever the stupidest thing we can do that is, that wins.
Nice.
And I always thought that was like a really funny way to view it.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to like when Moby was defending how he sold everything with Play. And he's like, because, you know, it can go into a car commercial and then I can use the money to talk about building, you know, non-gas powered cars and research and stuff like that. And it's like, you're Moby.
Moby is so fucking annoying.
He's a problem.
Yeah.
That Natalie Portman thing's a fucking problem.
Yeah. And also, I don't give a shit about his music.
I mean, he's got some good stuff. I'm not going to pretend he doesn't, but
I can only name 2 songs.
his James Bond cover is fucking, his James Bond theme.
Yeah.
He did like it's really good.
Yeah.
They weirdly brought it into the 60th anniversary Bond pinball machine. Like I remember of all things, because it's like a kind of obscure, it's an obscure-ish Moby song. Like it's not South Side, you know?
Yeah.
But like if you like
One of the 2 Moby songs I can name.
Huh?
One of the 2 Moby songs I can name.
Oh, yeah, South Side, and then the other one would be
Praise You. Or
Yeah.
No, that's
That's
Fatboy Slim. Yeah, never mind. I don't know shit about Moby.
Yeah, I mean, Moby has like the Play album is pretty good, but obviously if you're not into electronic music either, like it's gonna really limit your enjoyment of that as well.
I mean, it depends. There's a band called Snapped Ankles that I like a lot.
Yeah, you sent me their stuff, yeah.
Yeah. They have a song you'd like a lot. It's called Delivery Van. It's about a guy who gets hit and killed by the Amazon delivery van he was rushing home to meet.
To fight the driver because the driver was driving recklessly.
No, he just wanted his package. Didn't want to wait for it.
Well, he got his package all right.
Right? His death package.
Payable on death, POD.
Hell yeah. Oof. I hated that band with a passion.
Oh, the Christian nu metal band?
Yeah. I went to Ozfest once and slept through their set. Granted,
you didn't feel so alive for the very first time?
I was pretty drunk. And then I got back.
Yeah, did you sleep?
When I went back to work, this girl who worked at the front desk of the place I worked had also gone. And she was like, I hung out with POD. And I was like, they suck. I don't care. POD.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah. What'd you do? Read the Bible?
Probably the exact opposite while they're running around talking about how Christian they are.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure.
I had a friend that used to party with Rage Against the Machine when they'd be in town. And she was like, those men have done more cocaine than anybody I've ever met in my life.
Yeah. I mean, they're allowed though.
Yeah. She was like, I've never in my life seen anybody do that much cocaine.
I did.
This was like 98, 99. So it was like a good time.
I did see a magazine article once that pointed out that Zach De La Rocha was spotted driving a Mercedes SUV around LA. And it's like, now that is a little antithetical to what you say in your songs, sir.
Yeah. Maybe it was a loner.
Yeah. Maybe his, I don't know, fucking sustainable car that he built from a compost pile was in the shop.
Maybe his 1928 Ford from the fucking Grapes of Wrath that he drove to get here. His fucking crank jalopy that he drives. Like Jay Leno. Just Jay Leno and Zach De La Rocha driving old, stupid cars.
Fucking Jay Leno. I like John Lewis's theory that he actually like owes the mob money. That's why he keeps getting in these fucking accidents.
Yeah, I think it was like Kevin Anderson made a joke about how like if you don't buy enough tickets to his Flappers shows, the Flappers people throw him down another hill or something like that. It was just the way it was worded was so wonderful.
Yeah.
Like, you better buy tickets to this one or else the Flappers managers are going to throw him down another set of stairs or something like that.
Oh man, speaking of comedy, have you seen the new Tom Segura show on Netflix?
No.
Jeff, it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
He's trying way too hard.
I mean, that shit happens. You know, like his best friend is Bert Kreischer, so trying too hard is.
Yeah, I know.
You know how Bert Kreischer is funny when he takes his shirt off?
Yeah, isn't it so funny? He takes his shirt off.
It's funny because he's not a particularly fit man.
And
so when he takes his shirt off, it is aesthetically humorous.
It's just so funny. It's just so funny.
Nikki Glazer saying, Bert, I love your joke. I think that was at the Tom Brady roast.
Yeah, I don't know.
Was just so good.
Yeah. And
because
so accurate.
I mean, the thing is, from what I understand, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
I have nothing against him as a person. I also love the thing where like people got really mad at Tom Segura because when people would complain, he would just be like, shut up, you're poor. As like just like a troll. And they would be like, can you believe that? It's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Relax.
Like, you don't understand how bits work?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Like I reference it all the time. One of my favorite comedy moments happened in Maxim magazine when they did a like retrospective about Kurt Cobain on the anniversary, one of the anniversaries of his death. And someone wrote a letter to the editor complaining about how Pearl Jam was the way better band and Eddie Vedder would be way more popular and famous if he committed suicide. And Maxim's response was just, you're right, Eddie Vedder should kill himself.
That's a pretty good joke.
That would get Maxim shut down if they fucking responded that way in 2K25. And you know, maybe that's for the best. I don't know.
Mean, that era of like the men's magazine resurgence at the start of the fall of the magazine was very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. There was like a 18-month window where Maxim was legitimately like funny and well written. And then,
I mean, it was really game changing.
Yeah.
You know, at the time, like I know like people were like, it's a pale imitation of Playboy, but it's like, no, it was comedy.
Yeah.
For the most part, all the way through. And like really interesting human interest stories. Like I understand why you would think that because Playboy kind of had that market cornered for a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think Maxim, you know, I look back at it now, I certainly wouldn't want to reread those old issues and be like, oh yeah, there's a lot of broken shit in here.
Yeah. Yeah. I very clearly remember a like dating advice article that just straight up was like, oh, if a girl's like kind of like showing her body at the gym, it means she wants to fuck. It's like, God damn, that is a dangerous thing to put out there. I also remember an article once where they were like, listen, if you're trying to loosen your date up, what you do is you go up to the bar and order drinks, but you order vodka and tonic, but there's no vodka in yours. You're just bringing her drinks. And it's like, looking back, you're describing like how to commit sexual assault, essentially.
Yeah.
So
probably not optimal.
No, that's still in those magazines somewhere. I had like the second ever issue of Maxim, and I eventually sold it on eBay for like $75.
Yeah, was that the Famke Johnson cover?
I think so. Yeah.
My dad had because my dad was a mailman at the time, so he had a subscription, I think, with this by the second issue because he saw it. He was like, "This is interesting. I'm in."
Yeah,
that's kind of cool, I guess.
I used to buy it. There was a bookstore on State Street in Madison, and I was using a lot of public transportation at the time. And I would have like a wait between the bus I had to transfer to, and there was this bookstore right there. And I would always kind of look forward to the new issue of Maxim. But man, they went downhill fast. I almost got a job with Maxim,
really?
Sort of, because I wrote an article for Cracked called The Most Unintentionally Gay Rap Lyrics of All Time. And Maxim had an offshoot music magazine called Blender.
Blender, yeah.
And they actually reached out to me and wanted me to write for them. And then they went out of business like a month later, which sucked.
Got to move on to FHM.
Right? For Him magazine.
Yeah. It is funny because, like, as far as like men's style magazines go, like, you could definitely see where those ones were becoming very toxic. But I think Men's Health is a very good magazine.
Yeah.
And I understand that it's like, how many times can they say, like, here's a new exercise, stuff like that. But I always liked a lot, like, they focused on like a lot of different things and were like, here's what some people say, here's the potential negative aspects of that. Like,
yeah,
you know, they really did mix it up. And it's funny, like, at one point in time, I was subscribed to 2 magazines in the mail, and it was Men's Health and Wizard, the Guide to Comics.
Oh, nice.
Like, this is going to be the most opposite, the most opposite subscriptions ever, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll tell you what's good on Netflix, though. There's a show called The Four Seasons, and it looks like it's not going to be anything that interesting. It's got a good cast. It's got like Steve Carell, Tina Fey, fucking Will Forte, who's a big jerk, doesn't fucking say hi to people when they tell him what's up. But
You talking about you or me?
you.
Okay. I was like, did he also do that to you outside of a Guster concert, or was that just me?
No. I just got your back, Jeff.
Thanks, bud.
And it's like, we watched it because of the cast, and it's for like 6 or 7 episodes, just a really well-written, like, sitcom type of thing about older married couples going through life. And then I won't give away what it is or what happens, but around, I think it's episode 7 or 8, it takes a fucking devastating turn. And it just turns into still like funny and entertaining, but like one of the most heart-wrenching goddamn shows I've ever seen. So, trigger warning, sadness. So much sadness. It's based on an Alan Alda movie, which I'm glad I've never seen, because I think that would have given away that twist near the end.
It's based on MASH.
Yeah. Did you like MASH? I didn't like MASH.
I really watched MASH.
Yeah.
I'm aware of its cultural significance even to this very day, and yet it still has the highest percentage of viewers ever, right?
Yeah, which blows my mind.
I mean, there were 3 networks.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, were you going to watch that or Jake and the Fat Man or whatever? Like, I don't know. I don't even know what was out then.
Yeah.
Like, wow, like I actually think other shows didn't even bother competing.
Probably.
Like, everything that was being released that day was like a rerun.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Because, MASH ended in 83. So it ended like right before I started seriously watching television. Because I was still a little young guy in 83. Although I do remember walking to the theater to watch Return of the Jedi by myself, which that doesn't seem like a thing that would happen these days, but it did.
So apparently MASH still has the record for scripted television.
I don't like
Not
that.
even percentage wise, but like it says 106 million roughly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But it's it's behind a bunch of Super Bowls, but like not by much.
Should we be watching
when you look at
MASH?
it, like, so the highest was last year's Super Bowl, apparently, at 123.4 million.
That's a lot of people.
It sure is. So MASH had about 100 and what did I say? Like,
Is this for the finale?
Yes.
Yeah, I know it's the most
but,
watched
like,
finale by him.
Think about the numbers of people that lived in America in 1983 versus, or the world in 1983 versus now. And like the numbers aren't even comparable.
Yeah, that's wild that TV sucked so bad back then that MASH got all those watches.
I mean, MASH, I've seen a lot about MASH and like a lot of the stories, and it, like, that's a show that if it came out today would still be considered,
Yeah, I'm sure.
like, it's not like a lot of popular sitcoms back in the day and a lot of popular shows back in the day, like, but that was an anti-war movie
Yeah.
and television show that was literally just like when did the movie come out? Like right post Vietnam, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe so. What show was way more political than people probably remember is the Golden Girls.
Oh God, it's the most woke
Yeah.
sitcom.
Fucking AC Slater gets deported in like the first episode, I believe.
It's like AIDS episodes, gay episode.
Yeah,
Like
that show ruled. It was so,
Yeah.
and it was so well written. God damn.
Yep.
So well written. Like if I was going to recommend any fucking mid 80s sitcom in terms of shit that still holds up, go watch Golden Girls.
Imagine how fresh the will they won't they of Cheers would have been if you didn't have that
Yeah.
before. I didn't realize that Sam and Diane get together way early in that show.
Well, yeah, because there's the whole Kirstie Alley era too.
I thought they like stretched it out over, at the very least, the entirety of Diane's tenure there. No, it's like the end of like the first season
Yeah.
or something like that, and then they like break up and whatever the repercussions of that. But it's wild.
God, that was a good show.
It is a good show. A lot of Kevin McHale in that show, which I like.
Who doesn't like Kevin McHale? Probably Lakers fans.
Kurt Rambis,
Yeah. Knicks fans.
because Kevin McHale's the one that fucked up Kurt Rambis, right?
I think
Or was
so.
that Larry Bird?
Probably both. Probably low.
Because you
Howard
remember,
era.
you've seen that, right? Like Kurt Rambis going up for a layup and getting fucking
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen it.
blind. It is one of the weirdest things to see, because Kurt Rambis is like such a little hippie dude, and he gets up ready to fucking murder a
Yeah.
Celtic.
Should we do another listener opinion?
Yeah, let's do it.
We're getting deep into the episode. Grumblebee, there should be a foreign exchange program, but for different states in the USA. If you grew up in Southern California, you should have to spend a few months living in Missouri or something. Somebody from Central Florida should have to go live in Iowa or something. People in this country live such wildly different lives, and so many people, myself included, never see what it's like living in other parts of the US. I don't disagree with that.
I think you should have to live in rural, suburban, and urban areas.
Yeah.
I think all three of those things should be covered.
Yeah.
And I do think, like, if you are coastal, you should have to live somewhere that is landlocked for whatever. You know, I didn't realize, like, there is a massive percentage of Americans that will never touch the ocean.
Yeah. My mom's never seen the ocean.
That's so crazy to me.
And it's like, hey, Ma, you could come visit if you want. We can go to the ocean maybe someday.
Yeah, my mom. I've been here for fucking 13 years.
13 years.
Not one member of my family has come to visit me.
My niece came out and visited.
Well, my niece and nephew came out, but I had to pay for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Nobody.
California.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think people should live in amongst other people. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, this will sound crazy, but if you're a white person, you should have to live around some black people. Like
Absolutely.
a lot of them. Like I'm one of the things I am most thankful about when it comes to my hometown where I grew up is it is highly, highly non-segregated. And that's the best. That's how you grow up, not being scared of people who don't have the same fucking skin color as you. Like,
Man,
it's the easiest way to do it.
I did not have that benefit.
Yeah.
Charlton, where I'm from, is 92% white.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, maybe that's changed, but not really.
Here's the thing. I feel like I know people who grew up here who probably didn't have a ton of interaction with black people growing up, just because of how segregated LA still is.
Massachusetts, and I've said this, I believe, on the show before. I think I've met 2 Mexicans when I lived in Massachusetts,
Yeah.
and I painted with them over the summers.
Yeah.
Like in Massachusetts, high percentage of Puerto Ricans, right? But that's very much not the same. And the racism is very common in my hometown. My hometown is a red island in a blue state filled with wonderful people, but also abhorrent, terrible, racist scum.
Yeah.
And, you know, the kind of people that would blast out Born in the USA and this is our country and not understand it, that all of their country music is patriotic because they don't understand the reality of the art.
Yeah.
And then I went to college in Farmington, Maine, which, spoiler alert, diversity was not, we had a black guy, one. His name was Zimbabwe Dave because he was
What?
from Zimbabwe.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's what everyone called him, just Zimbabwe Dave. It's like we didn't even get an American black guy at my college. We outsourced that shit to fucking Africa.
Yeah. I think it might have been a get on Conan or something, but back when they were first introducing all the state quarters, they did these like parody state quarters somewhere, and they like circulated on the internet, but I think they might have started on Conan. But South Dakota's just said celebrating our first black guy, and North Dakota's was someone whispering in someone's ear, and it just said, "Did you hear about South Dakota's black guy?" Which,
that's pretty great.
Yeah, South Dakota still, there are like no Asian people in South Dakota. It's fucking uncanny. Like I don't know. And it's actually, I'm wrong. There's a big Hmong population in South Dakota and Minnesota, to the point that in Sioux Falls, Hmong is one of the language options on ATMs. But that's just because there's like a program that
of course,
brings them here. But beyond that, not really. It's weird how that works.
I mean, I used to teach a lot about immigration.
Yeah.
And like the community building of immigration, and like we would use local spots as examples, never our specific local spots, but it's like, if you were moving to Prague, you'd want to be near English speakers. Many people would, because there's an understanding. It's why people go to bars while they'll go to like a Bears bar to watch a Bears game, or like a Red Sox or Patriots bar, right, to watch the games. Like, you want to be around your people sometimes. And so like the reason that Massachusetts has such a high percentage of Puerto Rican is because there are areas where when they know they're coming out and they're like, look, this is an area with a bunch of us. It's safe-ish for you to be here. The Indian population of central Massachusetts is actually very strong because of Compaq Computers in the 80s. Compaq was based out of central Massachusetts. They had a huge business there. And so they got all these brilliant Indian coders and workers to come in, and they built bright, colorful community. Like Shrewsbury, Massachusetts has a really vibrant Indian community. So the Indian food in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts is fucking incredible.
Yeah, I don't get that. Like, do people not realize that brings good things to your community? Like, having a bunch of different types of people in your community makes it a more interesting place to live. You got
my town, pizza places.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. Literally, I've had people visiting, and one dude I remember, he referred to this one area we were driving through as the pizza district.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was like literally we were a town of 12,000 people, and there's like 4 pizza places within 2 miles of each other.
Yeah.
None of them delivered, by the way.
Yeah, like, do motherfuckers not want Indian food? It's so good.
They probably think Indian food is fucking eating, snake kidneys and what other races. They think Temple of Doom is Indian food.
Yeah.
I don't want snake belly.
God, I love Indian food. Fucking put it in my belly.
Even non-Indian Indian food. Eat chicken tikka masala. That's fucking tasty. Don't worry, it's British.
Yeah.
It's fucking, it might as well be Campbell's tomato soup and chicken. It's tasty.
Yeah. And I mean, there are people, like, there are restaurants where the chicken tikka masala is their specialty, and
I love it.
Fucking recommended.
Chicken tikka masala, butter chicken, paneer, like
I like a chicken.
Great.
I like a chicken vindaloo.
I pulled away from the vindaloos after a while. Not that I couldn't handle it. It's just I wasn't enjoying them as much as the other items on the menu.
I like it when I'm not in the mood for a creamy curry, when I want a more, because vindaloo's just a tomato vinegar.
It's just hot. Yeah, it's just super spicy.
Based. Yeah, I mean, I try to not, like, that's one of those Indian dishes where I don't go like spicy, medium spicy, any of that, because it's spicy enough on its own.
Yeah, vindaloo brings the heat.
Yeah, I fuck with vindaloo. I like that vindaloo has potatoes in it. I like that.
Yeah, I like I do like a saag paneer. I like the spinach.
I've never gotten into that.
Although I got really sick one time getting it. So.
Oh yeah. I fuck with a biryani, which is essentially Indian fried rice.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a basmati rice and chunks of stuff.
Yeah, you got to get the raita. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but it's like a cucumber type sauce that you drizzle on it. Eat it up.
I like keema naan. I like a naan with the minced lamb. There was this one place that made it was keema naan. It was minced lamb, peas, and like little onion bits. And I think about that like all the time.
Yeah, that sounds fucking tasty.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Indian food, fucking samosas.
Samosas. Oh, come on. Come on.
Bhaji, onion bhaji.
Is that
It's
just
like a fritter.
yeah. I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
pakora.
A deep fried onion fritter. Yeah.
I like a vegetable pakora.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. Fucking Indian food. Shout out.
I miss bad Chinese food.
Yeah.
Like I miss Massachusetts Chinese food, which is bad. It's bad. It's a very American, but like, you get an egg roll out here and it's like a fucking small, like a lumpia sized.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck is this? Like Massachusetts, if you get egg rolls, it's like a small burrito. It's like a small chimichanga, really.
Yeah.
And it's like deep fried, and the fillings are like that pink ground pork,
Yeah.
and then just
Cabbage.
lawn clippings.
Yeah. I like an egg roll a lot.
So good, but every time I get egg rolls out here, I can't. What I can't do is Vietnamese. I try every time I try it. It's like the way they do rolls with that rice paper where it's like skin,
Yeah.
and then they fucking put mint in so much shit.
I don't like that.
And I'm just
Vietnamese
like, why?
food is probably the one I'm least in terms of the Asian cuisines.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, among the big ones, there's tons of, there's lots of countries that have food, but
Yes.
you get what we mean. Yeah.
North Korean is my favorite.
I fuck with a Korean barbecue. I'll tell you that much. That is one of life's pleasures, man. If you people don't want a fucking Korean barbecue in your town?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Have you ever had it?
You're gonna be racist about meat?
God damn, it's so good. It's just meat, and they cook it for you at your table.
Well, you cook it for yourself half the time, really.
I mean, not the places I go, but if you're
So do you go to like a hibachi style Korean barbecue?
well, there's two places we go most often. I usually go with my wife and her family. My wife is Korean. And there's a place down here, the South Bay. I can't remember the name. It's a Korean name. But yeah, they have
Him.
they have like the cooking element is just in the middle of your table. And they come and toss the meat on and leave and then come back and fucking flip
nice.
it. And then you're done. Yeah, it's great.
Spots I usually go to, it's like you ask for whatever meat you want off the menu and they bring it out and you fucking throw it on there and you deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could, but
Yeah.
I trust.
Wouldn't that be funny if like that's how that place was supposed to do it?
And
They were just like, how these motherfuckers are just waiting for us to put it on? It'd be so funny.
yeah, I fucking love Korean barbecue. It's so good. You know what I miss about Midwest Chinese food is egg foo young.
Do they not have that out here?
It's not the same. It's not like it because egg foo young, it comes down to
An
that.
omelet, basically,
But
right?
it's
Like
the gravy that they put on it that makes the difference. And there's two types. There's like a really dark brown that looks almost like a teriyaki sauce. And that's the good stuff. That's what you find in the Midwest. There's a place in the Midwest in South Dakota called Golden Bowl that makes the best egg foo young I've ever fucking had in my life. But then there's also this like lighter brown gravy that looks like a turkey gravy almost. And it lacks flavor to me.
I wonder what I wonder if it's like too like a regional version of it.
Oh, it's got to
where
be.
they're probably like, we got to put a little more sugar into this, sweeten it up.
Well,
for
you
these
also just
Americans,
don't-
or we need to
No, I mean, yeah, like
add up.
people don't eat fucking sugar in California.
Well, yeah, no, but what I'm saying is like certain, like when you go to like a Filipino restaurant out here,
Yeah.
and it's like I accidentally got this thing where it was like eggs and bitter root over like noodles or rice or something like that, and I ate it. It was like horrible tasting. And everybody there that was actually Filipino was like, "You're getting that?" They were like, "That's not something you're supposed to eat. That's something that we're supposed to eat."
Yikes.
And it was like, oh, like, yeah, I guess that's an interesting view of the American palate, generally speaking. Whereas I know it's not the same. I know that we're not we're not an amorphous palate.
I can't imagine that's what's happening here though, because that other alternative, there's just no flavor to it at all.
Like I think about that with like the Massachusetts Chinese food, where I'm like, oh, is this specifically tailored to the Massachusetts palate?
Yeah.
Like, this is specifically what we want. It's popular, so all the Chinese restaurants are going to have it here this way. Whereas maybe in like South Dakota, it would be whatever was popularized in the 80s for Chinese food or whatever during the Chinese boom.
I tell you what you never see in California that you see, I feel like everywhere else, is General Tso's chicken. That is not on a ton of menus at Chinese.
Yeah, you got to go to the
places
Garden for that one, huh?
Yeah.
Or the Panda Express.
Yeah, there's a couple places that have it, but it's also so similar to orange chicken that
It's orange chicken with a pepper in it, right?
yeah, I don't really miss it. But
Yeah. I do like the green onions that they put in there. And in General Tso's,
yeah, I like food.
Yeah, that's
man.
definitely one of those ones where I'm very aware. Like, we've had this conversation a lot before, but like, I don't necessarily believe that authentic means better tasting.
Yeah.
I understand you can have whatever validity aspects, but we've said this a million. I've brought it up, and people from the comments where I'm like, just because something is the most authentic version of something doesn't mean it's the one that I want to eat.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'd rather have a cheesy gordita crunch than a street taco.
Yeah, street tacos don't do it for me.
Yeah. And like, people will be like, you're missing out on what? Onions and cilantro and a little bit of meat cooked in a van.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've had good street tacos, but I'm a Tex-Mex guy.
Well, it's the same thing with like, I'd rather have a street hot dog than a hot dog that you get at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
those danger dogs. Fucking love them.
It's one of those things where it's like the idea, because like, I've gotten pushback on it, and people would be like, well, it's, racism or whatever, when it's like, I don't give a shit about your terrible, overrated garbage taco that I bought from your cart. But it's like, fucking hot dogs, fucking incredible. Like, it's not conditionally based on like whether or not my American palate is more interested. It's just like, some things are just more boring than other things and not as good.
Yeah.
And they're like fresher ingredients. It's like, sure, if that makes you feel better.
Yeah. I feel like I see a lot of that with like recipes and cooking at home too, where like I saw one that was like, and of course you're going to want to grate your own cheese instead of buying shredded. It's like, no, I don't. I don't want to do that extra step that I'm not going to fucking sort of notice the difference over. Like, why?
Do you ever see this stuff about like how literally our food has become almost malnutritious?
Oh, yeah.
Like, have you seen those studies where it's like what corn was versus what America has turned corn into?
Oh, yeah.
And how like it used to be like the fiber of the corn, the like actual vitamins were the majority of the kernel, and now it's all just a carbohydrate, and that tiny little bit at the end is the actual nutrient. Like, corn's a grain. Corn's not a vegetable.
Right.
I always feel like I was like lied to about that, where it's like, I always thought corn was a vegetable.
Yeah.
And then you find out as an adult, you're like, actually, it's a grain. It's not a vegetable at all.
Yeah.
That's why we make bread out of it.
Tomato also. It's a fruit.
That is true.
It's not
and
a
a
good
banana is a berry.
Not a good fruit. Not one of my favorite fruits, but still a fruit.
Yeah.
I'm not as anti-tomato as you, but
no,
it's not my
favorite. There was a joke about how technically salsa is a fruit salad. And I'm like,
fuck yeah, it is.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah. Salsa's, I mean, as far as snacks go, the chips are the problem with salsas. There's nothing in that shit but vegetables and lime juice.
Do you ever have cowboy caviar from Trader Joe's?
I have
tasty. It's a tasty treat. It's like a black bean and corn salsa. It's pretty good.
Well, all right.
I mean, Trader Jose. Excuse me.
They do put that on some of their stuff, right?
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, or Trader Giotto on their frozen pizzas or whatever.
Oh yeah,
it's the best frozen pizza you've ever had.
Best frozen pizza?
Yeah.
There is a brand out there called Screamin' Sicilian that is, I think, one of the higher quality. But honestly, there's a kind of shitty brand called Jack's, and I've never seen it out here, but they have a pepperoni mushroom that's not a combo you see in frozen pizzas a lot. And it's a standout. I also miss the Totino's Mexican pizza. Remember that?
No, I might have been like not the market for that.
Yeah,
at the time.
It was, and I'm not a big like taco pizza, Mexican pizza person usually, but this one, it had a really crispy crust, and then it was just like seasoned ground beef and cheddar cheese and some peppers. Good. What about you?
First off, I'd like to add that I like a diced pepper on a pizza.
Yeah, it's a good pizza topping.
Not a fan of any larger version of the pepper.
Yeah.
Like if it's like a sliced or a ringed pepper, like a bell pepper, not obviously you'd ring like a jalapeno or something like that. But when they're too big, they end up like just being like sluggy texture.
Yeah, and green peppers are this weird thing where they don't have that much taste, but if there's too much of them in your food, that's all you'll taste.
It's the bitterness, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always thought red and green peppers were different. It's just a different time they're ripe.
Yeah.
Which I think is really interesting. But my favorite pizza that I've ever had is a store brand, I believe, and it's Open Nature.
Oh.
And it's actually a cauliflower crust, but that's not at all why it's good.
Yeah.
The Open Nature cauliflower crust pizzas are consistent. They're some of the best tasting pizzas I've ever had outside of an oven or not. Like,
Yeah. I've never had a cauliflower crust pizza, but I'm not opposed to shit like that.
It doesn't taste it doesn't taste like anything, because remember, it's cauliflower crust, but it's like cauliflower mixed with a binder and all all this stuff. Like it's not like Caulipower, that like the name brand that kind of like, because I was like trying different stuff because I was like, if I can have something that's going to be a little bit less carby, that's fine, but I also am not going to go fucking crazy and eat something that's only kind of bad for me and also sucks.
Yeah.
Like I have no reason to do that. Like, why are you even living if that's the case? But Open Nature does this. Their cauliflower crust pizza is the best tasting frozen pizza I've ever had. And it was like, I was like, oh, I'll try these other, if that's good, then these other versions that are like basically the same. It was just never the same.
Yeah.
Get a little shredded cheese, add a little extra before you cook it up, maybe. Throw some toppings on there if you want.
I will say this. This is kind of a cheat. But if you got like a pizza place or a restaurant from back home that's maybe popular on a national level, check out Gold Belly, because you might be able to get that shit sent to your home. Me and my wife ordered 3 Lou Malnati's frozen Chicago deep dish pizzas once from Gold Belly, and shit was on point. Cooks up just like in the restaurant. It's very fucking good. And they have there's like a pork tenderloin place on there. That's a thing you don't find
from Iowa,
the West Coast. It was a place in either Iowa or Indiana, but
I was explaining to somebody the concept of the pork tenderloin sandwich not too long ago.
It's so good.
And the way I was describing them, like, it's kind of a dick measuring contest to see who can make the stupidest looking fucking sandwich. The tannest.
Sure.
It looks like a UFO.
Yeah, but you're talking about like the most extreme.
Yeah, the ones where they hammer it out.
Version. And you have to hammer it out because if you don't, it's like really chewy and tough.
Get trichinosis.
Well, no, it's just hard to eat. Like if you ever order a pork tenderloin sandwich and it's like as thick as a chicken sandwich, you're in for a bad treat. Yeah. You should send that back because that means they overcooked it. It's got to be thin. But yeah, I love a pork tenderloin sandwich.
What do you put on it? Mayonnaise and pickles.
I do ketchup and pickle.
Yeah.
And I worked at Burger King when they had pork tenderloins, probably just in the Midwest, but
yeah,
that was dangerous. I ate way too many pork tenderloins that month.
I was like when McDonald's had the lobster roll. I don't even know if that was national.
Probably not. I don't think so. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man.
Shit's crazy.
Shit is crazy. I would, as far as like delicacies go with like popular restaurants, I don't think there's anything in Massachusetts that I would ever want shipped.
Oh, yeah.
The pizza I grew up with is objectively bad. It's Greek. You know the difference, right? We've talked about this.
No, thank you.
Chilled pressed dough. In a way, it's almost like a pre-made pizza. They make the pizza in the morning, stick it in the refrigerator, and then when you order it, they then pull it out of the fridge, top it, and cook it, like run the olive oil.
Yeah.
So it basically creates a very firm, hard crust with a chewy, doughy center through the crust. So the crust itself is like bones, and there's like a doughy marrow that runs through it.
Oh, no. No, thank you.
Yeah, it's like a solid, and it's like I grew up on it, so I crave it when I go home. But like, I'm not gonna go out of my way to fucking defend it.
Yeah.
Worcester pizza's garbage, and I love it.
Yeah,
But
there's a restaurant in Peoria where I grew up called Avanti's. It's an Italian restaurant, and it's literally just there. And for one thing, they delivered until 4:00 in the morning, which is fucking amazing. But they have the best Italian sub I've ever had, and it's because of the bread. They use this like kind of sweet bread, but I've never been able to find any fucking bread like it anywhere. It's called the gondola. They call.
you still find if it was just like 2 pieces of wedding cake,
Yeah.
you were like, I can't find it anywhere. It has this like bread. It was very sweet. There was like this white kind of coating on it, and sometimes you'd even get like a tuxedo leg.
Yeah. Like a statue on top of
Yeah.
it. Yeah. If I could get Avanti's bread shipped to me, I would take that.
There was this little statue of a husband trying to run away, and the bride, she's not going to let that go through.
Waka, waka, waka.
She will not abide by that. But if you had one of those on your wedding cake, like, you're not married anymore.
Is that a real thing? People do that?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Do you remember, like in the 2000s, it was like a big thing to have like a novelty wedding topper.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Right.
Sounds like the 2000s, though. We didn't have anything to worry
I
about.
could understand if you both were like superhero nerds and you were like, we got a Clark Kent and Lois Lane. Like, I could understand that.
Sure.
Or if you're like, Chicago fans and you're both wearing like Bull stuff, but it would be the stuff where it would be like husband running away,
Yeah.
running down the cake while the wife is being a shrew up top or something like that. And you're like, man, you guys, you're not, this isn't healthy.
Yeah, you hate each other, huh?
Yeah, you guys are this is gonna be bad. Don't have kids. Oh, you
already
you had
first?
them
You
before.
did
Okay,
that
yeah,
first?
that's
Okay.
all right. Yeah,
Well, that's probably why you're running. That makes
explains
sense.
why he's trying to run away. Yeah,
Makes
should be a pack of. It should be like a 7-Eleven with a pack of cigarettes right on the other end, and then just like a red kind of beaten up pickup truck that Dad's about to jump into.
Hell yeah. Drive off to that new life.
Yeah, I'd fucking live in a Bob Seger world or whatever.
Fucking love Seeger.
That Bob Seger makes music for men who have abandoned their families, and it's like I fuck with it.
Like a rock.
Oh, like a rock.
So I think we did it, right? There's 2 episodes of this podcast left. And then I think you can tell me and Jeff's heart is still really in it.
Really going for it, guys.
Yeah, we're just fucking, we want to go out strong. And then the Monday show is coming back.
Yeah, like we're not just rebrand, it's just a new version of the same Power Rangers you were watching, folks.
It's going to be different.
Slightly different narrative, but
You'll see. You'll
the
see.
ingredients will be there.
It'll be different. And I think more fun it will be.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I was thinking about that was funny when
What's
we were
that?
talking about Maxim?
What's that?
The only time I ever hear about Maxim is when I see like gullible women on the internet signing up for become the next Maxim cover model.
Oh, is that a thing?
Oh, and they like, it's one of those like pay to vote
Oh, no.
things where it's like so and so. And you're just sitting there and you're like, this is not real. You know that, right? And like, I could win $10,000. It's like, but you're not going to. This is not how that works. Like, I think
Yeah.
I got more votes. I think I got the most votes. No, you didn't. You're never going to.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Like-
I didn't know people were doing that shit.
Oh, yeah. It's like every year I see it. Hold on. Maxim. Like if you Google it, like Maxim cover girl competition, and it's still like a thing.
That's crazy.
Use the competition to tell your story. And then there's a Reddit thing that says the Maxim Cover Girl contest is a scam. And it's like a person who's just like, yeah, this is all a fucking scam. And you tell, it's like baby of the year, dog of the year, all that stuff. And
Yeah.
you try to inform people, be like, hey, you're cluttering up your social media with you admitting that you fell for a scam. This is a scam. And they're like, it's like this denial.
Do you know people who signed up for Maxim? Who was it?
We know people
Really?
done that. Yes.
Recently?
I don't want to get too much into it on this show.
Okay.
There's a good chance they might be listening to this show right now.
Oh, okay.
Probably not, but
Is it Tom? It's Tom Ryman?
Tom Ryman, yeah.
God damn it, Tom. I'm going to vote
Yeah.
for him. I'm going to vote for him.
But it's like It's like one of those things where you're like, hey, that's not this is like a lottery. They're playing a numbers game with you, basically.
Yeah.
That's
wild.
it took me forever to figure out what running numbers was, by the way.
I still don't 100%.
It's like an illegal lottery.
Oh, sure. Makes sense. Yeah, I knew it was something along those lines. I just don't know how it
It's
works.
always something you hear like a Dick Tracy villain was doing.
Yeah.
Not only did he do that, but he's been running a numbers game.
Numbers racket.
Yeah. And it's really just fake, like a illegal lottery, which that doesn't seem like such a big deal.
I just hate gambling. I just hate it so much. So I don't, like I just learned what the over under means like 2-3 years ago. Like,
really?
yeah. Cause I never, like, it's not a thing I've ever paid attention to or cared about when it comes to sports. So like I would hear people say it and I just did not give a shit.
Remember when we almost signed up for a sports betting app while we were watching like the Tyson Fury fight?
So glad we could not do that.
And then they were like, you can't do that in California. And we were like a little annoyed. And then we forgot about it. And this has ruined countless lives.
It sure has.
Don't do it. Speaking of scams, online sports betting is very much a scam.
Yeah, don't do it.
If you're good at it, they kick you off the app.
Yep.
Don't do it. You're a fucking mark if you still do that.
Don't do it.
Did I tell you I had a friend, her husband lost $27,000 of their money sports betting?
That's insane.
They are still together.
God, that's a lot of money to lose gambling on sports.
Can you imagine?
Oof.
If I lost $27,000 of anybody's money, I'd be like, you know what? I'm just going to drive into the sea.
Yeah. One of the reasons I hate gambling so much, I went to a casino with a friend of mine, like late 90s, and I didn't want, like I brought more money than I wanted to spend. So I asked this friend to hold it for me so I didn't spend it at the casino.
Are you insane?
Yeah. I mean, I was very young and stupid. Like I have a cousin who went to Harvard Law, helped broker the deal the last time the Dodgers were sold or the Lakers, one of the two. But also when we were younger, he once gave a dude $500 to go gamble on the grounds that this guy was really good at gambling and he was just going to go making money. And I was like, you're never going to see that fucking money again. He didn't. He never saw that guy again. He never saw that money again.
You spent $500 to get that guy out of your life, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I like socially trash gambling, but even when I was 21, because I went on my 21st birthday, I went to Foxwoods in Mohegan Sun for my birthday. And I had rules, like you never bring your ATM card onto the casino floor.
Yeah.
Only bet cash and only bring the amount of cash that you are comfortable losing.
Yeah.
And once that cash is gone, so like when I had my 21st birthday, I actually made a lot of money because we were playing blackjack and I would leave my bet out. And if I lost it, they would take it. I think I had like $300, right? That was like the whole thing was like, I'm going to bet $300. And every time I won, because my brother had just had a kid, so he's like, I'm not fucking gambling. I already did and lost. So no gambling now. So he was just behind me, and every time I'd win, I would take my chips and I'd just give them to him.
Oh yeah.
But he was always behind me. Like he wasn't gonna be like, I'll be right back, you know?
Yeah, that's good.
And so I just kept playing until all the money that I was gonna lose, that I was comfortable losing, was lost.
Yeah.
I got up from the table and I left, and then I turned to my brother and said, how'd we do? And I think out of $300, he pulled out like $1,100 in chips.
Jesus.
But it was that. It was like all my winnings went into like my banker behind me.
Yeah.
And I just kept, and if it was like a push, or if I won, I would take the winnings chips and give to him and leave my bet out.
Yeah.
And just let it ride continuously until all that money was gone.
Yeah.
That seems to be smart. I've never reacted or reenacted that. And that seems to be the one time I really did well.
Yeah. So I think that's our episode, right? We did it.
Yep.
And we're going to do it some more.
We're going to be doing it and doing it and doing it well.
We are in a prison of our own making.
Remember when LL Cool J just narrated sex?
Yeah.
And it fucking blasted to the top of the charts?
And then didn't let the girl who he did the song with be in the video because she wasn't hot enough. Oh, Uncle L.
Didn't you learn anything from C&C Music Factory, you double consonant motherfuckers? Because they got sued for it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty egregious. But they weren't the only ones. Technotronic also they had a model in their video, that Pump Up the Jam song.
Oh yeah. You don't have to tell me about a Technotronic song, buddy. I
hated all that
body,
shit.
Spin that wheel from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles soundtrack.
I hated all of that fucking 90s club music, Technotronic, CNC Music Factory. I hate what the people behind CNC Music Factory did to Mariah Carey's second album, her worst album by far.
Snap.
Do you know there are 2 versions of that song? Because the guy just sold it to 2 different people.
And you prefer the other guy, yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about this like in the Burbank studio.
Yeah.
You were telling me about that, yeah.
It's all just one podcast to me now.
It's an amorphous
yeah
glacier of a podcast.
Yeah. Where we also talked about how the guy from One Republic sold Kelly Clarkson and Beyonce the same song. It's like, man, that is bold. You're trying to get drone striked fucking with Beyonce, but it was like early 2000s Beyonce.
Oh my God. The one where she was like, yeah, I guess I'll do a county fair again.
Yeah. She didn't have like a military behind her like she does now. All right. That's it. We fucking did it. God damn it. We did it. Jeff, thank you so much for doing the pod. I love you, bud.
Hey, I love you too, buddy.
What do we have to plug before we get out of here? Just follow me on Blue Sky. Do it. AdamToddBrown.bsky.social. Jeff, what would you like to plug?
I do other stuff. You can find it. Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
Let's get the fuck out of here. Jeff, say goodbye.
You get the pork tenderloin sandwich rookie card, everybody.
Ooh, Gem Mint delicious. Goodbye, everybody. We love you.
Bye.